Hi angels, how you guys doing? Today is Tuesday and I decided to take this video while I'm at work while my office is busy being cleaned because I haven't been able to record due to the fact that I was at home and my child was sick, so I didn't record at all. I was busy taking care of her, but now that I'm back, I decided, okay, well, my office has been cleaned, and I know that whenever I knock off, I'm lazy. To be honest, I'm lazy to record after work. So I decided that no, today let me rather take this video while I'm busy figuring out what to do with myself. I'll be cleaning my office. Today, please, if the audio is not that perfect, it's because I've got headsets on and there's a bit of wind, and now because I'm also moving, let me just try and find a spot to sit so that I can take a proper video for you guys. So today I just wanted us to talk about grieving. I had to breathe there for a moment because grieving is a subject that I really found difficult to deal with in my own life. My mom has been gone now for, I think, 17 years and 9 days. I'm not sure about that counting of the days. But yeah, September 23rd marked 17 years of her passing. So I've been, for the past 16 years, I've really never dealt with her passing in depth, or I had still held on to her spirit. Let me put it like that. I had still held on to her spirit. I had still held on to her soul. So it's been a long journey, and I think the reason for that was because ever since the passing, I never honestly grieved. And here's the reason why. My mom passed away in 2002. I was still very young at that age, honestly, and her passing it hit hard. She passed away at home, and after the undertakers took her body, I just literally went numb. And after being numb, I just went through the funeral in sleep mode. I cried, yes, but there was a form of denial in me and a form of numbness. I was in denial and I was numb. For me, it was like life is happening, but I'm not a part of it, because I refused to be a part of letting my mom go. I refused to be a part of the whole funeral process and everything. And because at the time I was, I think, 11 years old. 2002. Yeah, I was around 11 years old at that time, and I was never told that after you lose your mother, you grieve. I was never told that I was gonna have a hell a lot of emotions go through me: pain, resentment, resenting God, resenting people. Nobody ever told me that such things would happen, Nobody came through and sat me down and said, it's okay to cry over it. And it's also okay to feel the emotions, go through the emotions, and accept what is happening and deal with what is happening. First of all, acknowledge the emotions, accept them, and go through them and let go. Nobody sat me down and talked to me about these things. Nobody sat me down and said, there are stages to grieving. Denial is also a stage of grieving. Nobody said, okay, how about you go for counseling after all of this? Because truth is, in our black families, when you've lost your parents and you're now an orphan, or as my family saw it, a burden that they now have to deal with, all they think about is how they are gonna move forward with life with you. Meaning, where are you gonna live? Who's gonna feed you? Who's gonna clothe you? Those type of things. Whose problem are you gonna be from now on going forth? So, with me, it was that. They had to decide who's gonna take care of me and stuff like that. Who am I gonna live with? School and stuff. Those were the things that they were concerned about. The other areas of my life, but not me, not my emotional and mental well-being. And because I didn't grieve at that time, a lot of things affected me. A lot of areas of my life were affected. I went through a lot of mental health problems. And by mental health problems, I don't mean I went gaga crazy, no. But I struggled with accepting myself. I struggled with accepting others, relationship with myself and relationships with others. I had a lot of self-esteem issues growing up, fitting in problems. There was just a lot going on that I will discuss in another separate video. So I just wanted us to talk about grieving after losing your mother, or after becoming an orphan, or after losing your parent, or after losing a certain loved one who was close to you. Some people never knew their mothers. They were raised by grandmothers or grandparents. After losing those people, how did you grieve? Did you really grieve? Or if you didn't grieve, how did you go through life? And how has you not grieving or being able to grieve affected your life in every area of your life? Because for me, it affected relationships, financial health, my financial life. It affected almost literally every area of my life that we will discuss in other videos, so that we can heal. I only started grieving at an older age when I was introduced to therapy. I think I was in my second year at varsity. Yes, my second year in varsity. That's when I started going for counseling, and that's when I started noticing that, okay, a lot of my issues pertained around me losing my mother and me not dealing with it, because I became an orphan after losing my mother. My father passed before my mother. So all of that happened all of a sudden. It was also sudden. I almost said all of a Sunday, because that's how I always say all of a sudden when I'm with my friends, and I say all of a sudden, I say all of a Sunday. So I almost said that in this video. So everything was just sudden, guys. Everything was painful, and I literally switched off. I lived through my intermediate school and high school life up to my first year of tertiary in sleep mode. Life happened, but I was never really a part of my life. Like certain days I would switch on and become a part of my life, but on most of the days I was not there. I was not a part of it, because I never wanted to feel the emotions. I never wanted to feel anything at all, to be honest. I never wanted to feel. So how did you grieve? How did you grieve your mother? How did you grieve your loved one? How did you grieve your father? How did you grieve your grandmother? How did you grieve your grandparent? And with knowledge of what grief is now, if you do know what grief is, do you really think you grieved? Did you really grieve your loved one? Have a lovely day, my angels, especially my motherless mothers. Have a lovely day, everybody. Look into grief, and do not be scared to grieve. Do not fear grief, because it is one of the keys to your healing. It is one of the keys to letting you be you and letting you live life as it's supposed to be. It's one of the keys to finding yourself, actually, if you haven't gone through the stage of finding yourself. I love you very much. I truly do. I share your pain. I share most of the heartaches that you've had to go through. I know. I honestly do know. I can relate. And keep loving yourself, keep accepting yourself, and keep going through the stages of grief as you should. I love you very much. Have a lovely Tuesday.